Thank you for watching Branson Mountain Wrestling today. My name is Brickomania, and this is a review of WWE 24 Women's Revolution. First, these WWE women's wrestlers have done a lot to get where they are today, and then there's wrestlers like the Bellas, but we'll get to that later. Just a minute in, and they start comparing the WWE women to other women like Ronda Rousey, Danica Patrick, which makes sense because they're in sports. Then they bring up Jennifer Lawrence, call her Hollywood's superhero. If they're referring to her superhero roles, she played a woman who was a superhero. Who else is going to play those roles? They needed a woman. And then they bring up Malala. I didn't know who she was until I did this review. Forgive me, but as a wrestling fan, I'm not the most cultured person in the world. If you want to know more about her, there's a really good documentary on Hulu. I highly recommend you watch it. Anyway, she won the Nobel Peace Prize for standing up for women's rights to an education. I don't know why they're comparing that to women's wrestling. As far as I know, none of the WWE women were ever threatened with their life, threatened to be killed because they wanted to wrestle. So the comparison really didn't add up, and it was like that with most of these comparisons at the front. It's like comparing apples to oranges. And another thing I'll say about this the last thing I'll say about this intro is there is not enough wrestlers in it. Not enough athletes, I should say. I mean, I can understand why there's not much more wrestlers, because you're comparing yourself. They should be comparing themselves to other athletes, but they needed more athletes.
And then I saw the Reveiw hold the title, like Cthulhu coming out of the great sea, and the world was dark.
There's a lot of good messages about how women can do anything and women should be encouraged that they can do whatever they want. That was the secondary goal of this documentary. The primary goal is to show how far the women's division has come. And then they start talking about the Bella twins and how they were found on Divas Search. What was Divas Search, you might ask? Divas Search was a beauty contest where America searched for the next great diva. Then they want to tell us that the Bellas were and are really great wrestlers. Now, I've only been doing WCW, World Championships of Wrestling, for 2 years, but let me tell you, the Bellas would have never made it on that list if I were doing it earlier. When was the last Bellas match that was truly memorable? I honestly can't think of one that is memorable for the fact that the Bellas were doing really good. So they start talking about the Bella twins, and they start with their match against Emma and Paige, which is extremely short match. What they didn't tell you was the Bellas had just got off one of the WWE's worst angles in history, the Bella vs. Bella storyline. Easily the worst storyline of that whole year of any company I saw. In the storyline, Nikki told her sister that she wished she had died in the womb, and they just act like nothing happened. They just act like nothing happened after Nikki told Brie that she wished that she was dead and never been born. And then Nikki had the belt, but it was only to spite AJ Lee for comments her husband made. And next they talk about Give Divas a Chance and Divas Revolution, and how a lot of people were sending these tweets at the end of the match, but the Bellas make it seem like it was just because the match was too short. No, there was a lot more going on. There was a lot of reasons why the Bellas got booed that night. Which was a good time to start talking about NXT, where the women were getting about the same time the men were. Seeing Bayley win the NXT title again, that made me want to see that match again. And then they end the show by showing every Divas who's ever won the Divas Championship, including AJ Lee. The important thing about the Women's Revolution is it's just getting started. There are a lot of things that need to happen before they reach the moment of women main eventing pay-per-views, but the current Women's Championship is one of the best looking titles. It doesn't look like a beat up car, to steal a line from Brie Bella, and the Women's Revolution is strong. So that was my review of WWE Women's Revolution. What did you think about it? Tilt your phone horizontally, click that like button, click that subscribe button. Tell me about it. Tell me what you thought. Also, stay tuned because up next is an update from the World Championships of Wrestling. So you don't want to miss that. Thank you for watching Branson Mountain Wrestling. My name is Brinkomania. Yeah!